Today we are comparing two popular 10-watt diode lasers meant for your craft room, the WeCreat Vista and the xTool M1. Let's put them head to head and see how they stack up. Hey, I'm Sarah. You're watching Creative Ramblings, where I share simple projects, product reviews, and tutorials helping you move forward in your creative journey. If you are a laser user, I probably have videos here that can help you. Consider subscribing so you don't miss my next video. Today is a comparison video, and I love doing these because I want to help equip you with all of the information you need to make a really good buying decision that you are not going to regret later. So what we're going to do in this video is compare the WeCreat Vista and the xTool M1, putting them head to head, and we're going to go over all the features and all the different projects you can make with these. So at the end of this video, you can just make a really well-informed decision. A 10-watt diode desktop laser is really popular. There are quite a few of them on the market, but I chose to compare these two. Here's why I chose to compare them. First off, they are marketed to crafters like us. I'm a crafter. I love using my Cricut. I love using my scrapbook tools, but I brought lasers into my craft room to just elevate my products and elevate the things that I can do. Both of these machines are marketed to us. They are both the same laser wattage, so they're the same type of laser, which is a blue diode laser. They are both 10 watts, so it's really nice to be able to compare things head to head. They can do the same things. They can cut and engrave all kinds of materials, and they can also do things like tumblers, so rotary or round or cylinder type items. They both have their own software built in, really easy to use. You don't have to learn a third-party platform. They also both have a camera. We'll talk about that a little bit more later, but having a camera in your laser when you're first getting started does make the process a little bit easier when you are placing your designs on your material. As far as price goes, they're in the same ballpark of pricing, but one is definitely a little bit better priced than the other. At the very end, we're going to talk about how you can build your bundle and what accessories you might want and what that final price could end up being. We're also going to talk about a few deals that are going on as well. So what do the xTool M1 and WeCreat Vista have in common? These are both diode lasers. A diode laser is also sometimes called a blue light laser. It's a very powerful laser light that can cut and engrave lots of different materials. So you can cut wood, you can cut very thick cardboard or foam, leather, paper, fabric, all kinds of different things. You can engrave even more materials. So you can engrave on acrylic, you can engrave on wood, stone, lots of different things. A diode laser, it's good to point out, cannot cut through all types of acrylic. It cannot cut through metal. It is limited in that it is only a 10 watt, but there is so much you're going to be able to do with it. These are both class 1 lasers, which means they are fully enclosed. So you can operate this laser and know that you are safe while it's operating. If you have an open laser and you look at it, that can really damage your eyes. You'll have to wear glasses. But when you have an enclosed laser with this special lid that you can see through, you don't have to worry about any of that light coming through. Enclosed lasers are also really good for extracting smoke and getting it out of your room. Both of these lasers have the option to add purifiers to them, or they come with a hose that helps you vent them out the window. We mentioned they both have a camera, they both have software that's really easy to use. They also both come mostly pre-assembled. You can be up and running in like 30 minutes with either one of these lasers. Let's start with the xTool M1 and break down the features and what this machine can do. The M1 is a 10 watt diode laser, as we've already said, but it also has a blade cutting feature. So if you are familiar with a Cricut or a Silhouette or a die cutting machine like that, you can do some of those functions with the M1. So I could put vinyl or HTV or paper and cut it with the blade. You get some cutting mats that come along with it, and you can perform those functions and then just switch out and use the laser. You don't actually have to change anything out inside the machine. It's all housed in the same place. You just have to change your material on the bottom. So that's a nice little bonus to have. The M1 is a sturdy, decent sized machine. You can definitely keep it on your craft table. I've had it sitting on top of a set of Alex drawers for quite some time, and it fits really well there. It comes in a white color with a black tinted top that you can see through. When you're working with different materials on the M1, it has a flat metal base and little things called triangular prisms that you set down on the base, and then you can put your material on top. This is helpful if you're cutting, so it gives some airflow and it gives your pieces a place to go when they fall out of your material. There are some other add-ons you can have for the M1. So they do have a honeycomb plate that you can put in there, which is a little bit better than the prisms in that when you're cutting intricate pieces, they don't all fall through. They catch it a little bit better. Really good for airflow as well. You can raise your M1 up. So you can add these little wood blocks to the bottom and take out the base plate, which raises up your whole machine. You might want to raise your machine up if you're engraving a really tall item. The other reason you want to raise your machine up is if you're working with the rotary attachment. The rotary attachment allows you to put a tumbler on there and engrave the tumbler, which is a really popular craft. You can also engrave something as small as a ring or as like a baseball or an ornament, something that's a circle. There is also a riser base for the M1, so when you rise it up on these wooden blocks, it's no longer fully enclosed and you'll have to wear glasses. With the riser base, it raises it up, but it keeps it all enclosed. There is a screen printer that works with the M1 and a lot of other xTool machines that allows you to laser out a print screen and then go over and create a whole bunch of different t-shirts using screen printing ink. The M1 uses the software made by xTool called xTool Creative Space. This is a free software and it works really well with your machine, and it's going to integrate with the camera on your machine to help you place your designs accurately. You can connect your M1 to a computer using a USB cord or Wi-Fi. You can also connect it to a phone or a tablet, whatever you happen to be using. XCS is a software, so you don't need an internet connection to to access the software. The working area inside the M1 is about 15 by 12 inches. It weighs about 22 pounds, and the footprint is roughly 22 by 18 by 9. On the back of the M1, there is a fan and a vent. This is pretty common for most lasers. That helps you pull out the smoke because every laser does create smoke when you're cutting and engraving materials, and you want to get that out. Like we said earlier, you can just vent that out a window or you can attach it to a purifier. One other addition for the M1 is you can add on air assist, which helps give you really clean, crisp cuts and engraves when you're using it. I would not use a laser without air assist, so I would really encourage you to add that on if you go with the M1 bundle. So the price of the M1, and we are talking regular price here because it's really important to compare regular price to regular price for both machines. Know that there are always sales on the machines, and down in the description I have the current offers right now for these machines. The M1 basic for the machine is $14.99. This does not include air assist. This is just your machine with a 10-watt laser and the blade cutter. You might get a few sample pieces of material that go with it, but really it's just the machine. I would highly recommend adding on air assist. Like I said, that's going to be a couple $100s, but you're going to get much better cuts and engraves with it. If you were to purchase the M1 bundle that comes with the rotary, which allows you to do tumblers and ornaments and rings and all of that stuff, you're going to get the rotary attachment and a set of blocks that raise your machine up. That bundle is regularly priced just over $2,000. It's $2,010. So remember, these are regular prices, not sale prices. The sale prices can be accessed down in the description, and I keep those updated for you. Let's talk about the WeCreat Vista. This is a 10-watt laser. What I really like about this laser is it can do something that the M1 cannot and that no other 10-watt laser can do. This laser can flip. So normally when you have a machine set up, the laser points down and you have your material flat on the machine, and it engraves or it cuts it. The flippable laser is super easy to do. It's just 2 little screws and it flips over and it points sideways. This allows you to put a tumbler in the machine and engrave it. You do not have to use risers, and you don't have to worry about your machine not being enclosed. You can just engrave. And it can hold a pretty big tumbler in there without having to do anything different. It's a really cool feature that I have to point out first because it's one of the best features of the Vista. The second thing I really like is there is an alternate laser module for this machine. I'm not going to go too in depth in it because I have a whole video on it, but it is called an IR module, or an infrared laser. It is excellent for engraving bare metals that a blue light diode laser cannot do. You can purchase this IR module separate and just swap it out with your diode. The M1 doesn't have that. There is no way to switch out laser modules within the M1. So it's really cool that in that 10 watt family, you can actually switch out for an IR. Watch my original Vista video and I go more into depth on what that IR module can do. So as far as aesthetics goes, the Vista comes in white and blue, and it both has the same color lid on top. On the bottom, there is a base plate, like a tray that you can pull in and out to get rid of your debris. And then it has these grates. So we talked about triangular prisms on the M1. With the Vista, there are just these grates that sit there that are easy to pull in and out. The rotary attachment, which is an add-on for this laser, when you get it, it does come with a set of risers, but you can engrave up to almost a 40-ounce tumbler without rising up your machine, which means it is fully enclosed. However, if you need to go bigger or you have something taller, you can rise it up a little bit. Just make sure you wear your glasses once you have that raised up. Air Assist comes standard with the Vista. That is huge. I've talked about this a little bit. Having an Air Assist on your machine is going to make your projects look better. Just plain and simple. I love that it comes with this machine. It is not an add-on. You don't have to think about it. You're just going to get it. It's 2 cords that you plug in and that's it. It's done. So it's really nice to have it with your machine. When you're cutting and engraving, you create smoke. There's a fan on the back of the machine and it pushes it out a hose. That all comes with the machine. You can get a fume extractor, which then the air kind of filters through and then out your window. So you can add that on for some extra air quality. There is also a pass-through. So think of like a big conveyor belt. If you have a huge wooden sign you want to make for your front porch, you can set it up with the Vista where it will pass through and engrave your entire long sign. xTool does make those, but the M1 does not accommodate the pass-through or the conveyor. You have to get a different laser for that. The Vista has their own software. It's called Make It. Very easy to use. It works with their other laser as well. Very similar to XCS. A lot of the same functions. You can use the graphics that are in it or you can upload your own. Really easy to use. The Vista has a camera, just like the M1. What's neat about the Vista is that you actually use the camera when the lid is open. So it takes a picture of your material from a higher angle, which I think makes it a little more accurate. When you're using the M1 camera, the picture is taken kind of at an angle and it can be a little bit distorting at times. So the camera in the Vista, I'd say, is just a little bit better. Not only does the Vista have their own software, but it is compatible with Lightburn. Lightburn is a third-party software that a lot of people use to operate all kinds of lasers. So if you're a Lightburn user and you're familiar with it, you can absolutely use it with your Vista. You can connect this laser to your computer with a USB cord or via Wi-Fi. You could also use it on your phone or a tablet. I prefer a computer and I prefer Wi-Fi because I can kind of go wherever I want in the room when I'm designing and my laser can stay put. The working area on this machine is 16.3 by 11.4, so slightly larger than the working area on the M1. It is about 32 pounds. The footprint is about 25 by 18 by 6. I like how slim this machine is. The fact that it has a flippable laser is one of the reasons it's only about 6.5 inches tall. It doesn't take up a lot of room in your space. The price of the WeCreat Vista for the machine, the Air Assist, and the grates is $13.99. If you move up to the rotary bundle so that you can do all of those tumblers, you're looking at a regular price of $16.99. Again, regular price and current deals are listed down in the description. So I think we touched on everything that both of these machines can do. So how do you choose? How do you choose the right enclosed 10-watt desktop craft laser for you? The first place I would start is figure out what you want to make. Do you need a blade? So the M1 has that blade. It can cut vinyl, it can cut iron-on vinyl, paper, different things. Is that a feature that's important to you? And if so, the M1 might be the way to go. If you want to do tumblers, so you are getting this just because you want to make all the trendy tumblers that are out there, they are really, really easy to do with the Vista. You can do them with the M1. Just make sure you get the right add-ons. One thing I really want you to keep in mind is what a diode laser can do. I have a full video on buying your first laser and just understanding the different terminology. If you want to take a look at that. A diode laser is an excellent craft machine, but it cannot do everything. A very popular material that people love to work with is acrylic. A diode laser is not great at cutting all types of acrylic. You will be able to cut cast acrylic that is opaque and dark colored. You cannot do anything with glitter. You cannot do clear. So that goes for both of the lasers we're talking about here. Just really understand that before you make a buying decision. Otherwise, you will be disappointed. The M1 does offer some cool add-ons if you are doing more than laser work. I like the blade on the M1 for doing some vinyl work. I do like that you can add a screen printer down the road and do some other crafts kind of outside of lasering. Those are really neat options. If you are looking for a beginner laser to add to your craft room, I have to recommend the WeCreat Vista, and here's why. This is an excellent selection for both crafters and small business owners. It has a really small and sleek footprint, and you don't have to mess around with it too much to do different projects. So you're rarely going to have to add those risers. Everything can really just be done right inside the machine on your craft table. This machine is just easy to use. There's one button on the front of the machine. There's a switch on the back to turn it on. The software just makes sense. I have a full walkthrough of the software of every single feature that the software does. So if you order this machine, watch that software video first, and it's going to just walk you through how to use it so you're not confused when your laser gets to you. Air Assist comes standard with the Vista no matter what package you get. Air Assist, I think, is a must for any laser you buy, so having it as part of the package is just a really big plus for me. Adding on the rotary bundle, so the rotary tool that will hold your tumblers, is only a small step up, and when you get it in a bundle, it's a really good deal. And making those tumblers with the rotary is just super easy, especially with the flippable laser. I like that you can add on an IR module if you want to do some raw metal engraving or acrylic or plastic engraving down the road. You do not have to buy that module now, but knowing that you can buy it later is really cool. Like I said earlier, the M1 doesn't have that option. Other xTools do, and I really like being able to switch out because there's just it opens up your world of project possibilities. And finally, price. Regularly priced, the Vista is a better deal than the M1, and they have some fantastic prices and deals going on right now. I have those listed down in the description, so be sure to take a look at it. They also have a price guarantee for you, so if they go on sale later, you're going to be able to get that difference back. So we put the WeCreat Vista and the xTool M1 head to head. These are two lasers that I own and that I use. I think they are excellent beginner craft lasers. They would make a great addition to your craft room or to your small business. If I were to choose one of them to purchase right now, it would be the WeCreat Vista. It has been so easy to work with, and I've been able to make some really cool projects. Be sure to take a look at that down in the description. If you have any further questions about these two machines, be sure to leave a comment or check out both my xTool and WeCreat playlists. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I am here every week with new videos and a crafty podcast to help you move forward in your creative journey. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.